Where does your creativity come from? It's a hard question to ask because it's a harder question to answer. This video is about limits and me exploring mine and finding mine. Because if you don't know where your limits are, isn't that just an opportunity? Limits define what's possible, so why set limits on what you can do? Welcome. Okay, so I'm currently exporting the launch video, and I'm so excited. I talked about this on my podcast this morning, and I've been doing daily, like a 10-minute daily show. It's perfect if you just want a bite-sized little. I realized something, and something that's really exciting. Now that this video's done, the thing that I've been working on for the past 3 weeks, what do I do now? And to pretend like I don't have ideas is wrong of me, so I say we need to track down those ideas, but that's the hard part. Okay, so the ideas exist, but where are they? To understand my ideas, we need to understand the way I think, and to understand the way I think, we need to consult my notebooks. Fine, yeah, I title all my notebooks Your Mom. This is a long story, we'll get into it later. So yeah, I guess you could say I have a few ideas. There's a ton of really cool stuff in here, and I want to focus on all of these things as we go through this. But what's cool about these videos is I want them to feel like vlogs, but be about a thing. Oh, the video's done exporting. Alright, so let me tell you where this kind of came from, because the idea itself has been done, but I want to do it in my own way and see if I can prove if it's a valid thing for influencers to give it a go. So there's this cool website that you may have heard of, Amazon, and there's this site on there that allows you to publish books. So when this whole Kentrusting 2 situation presented itself, I said, if I was to write a book, what would it be about? So that is what we need to brainstorm. Okay, social media for moms, that is exactly what I want to be doing. It's the perfect combination of taking what I still know how to do, because I didn't forget all the things that I knew how to do before it was all gone, and combining it with this kind of influencer persona of a goofy character. In no way am I an author. In no way do I know how to do this. I actually am going to spend the next hour figuring out how to write a book. I don't know what I should put in it. I don't know how I should do photos. I need to talk to someone who knows how to write books. Who do I know that knows how to write books? Whoosh. All right, so I'm here with Tamira, and we are going to talk about books. She knows a lot more about books than I do. She works at NYU, she's very smart. I'm really excited to do this because, well, as I've talked about a bunch of times, books aren't really my thing, so this should be helpful. So I'm here to grill you, Tamira. I've got some serious questions that I think I need to know, I think we all need to know. What is your favorite book?
I mean, that's a really hard question, especially to ask a writer. Because I've read so many, and I've got different books come into my life at different times.
Can we actually unpack that? That's so interesting. You have a favorite book depending on how you were feeling in life? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on when I read something. I often reread, and so, for example, I'll read a book, like Into the Wild, which is one of my favorite books by Jon Krakauer. Who
I've seen the movie.
You know, and the way that I read it in college was different from how I read it, you know, a few years later when there was different stuff going on in my life. You know, I was in a darker place, so I think I responded to it differently. So you catch things that you didn't catch before when you read a book. Your experience is totally different. For as far as genre, I think that In Cold Blood by Truman Capote was probably, but he created a whole genre called creative nonfiction, literary journalism, however you want to look at it. And it blew my mind, you know, and I'm like, I want to write nonfiction that sounds like fiction. And you know what? Every story has been told. You can't tell me a story that hasn't already been told by somebody, but it hasn't been told by you.
That's such a unique perspective that I honestly never thought this could have gone in, but I love that. I love that so much.
Good.
Wow.
Yeah, it really does work, you know.
Do books need to be long?
Books don't need to be anything. I mean, there's always, you know, breakthroughs in publishing and in genre. You know, shorter and shorter collections of stuff is coming out. So, you know, a short story collection and an essay collection can be shorter, but a novel you can do, a novella.
What do you do once the book hits the market? What have you seen as like good ways to be like, hey, buy my book, that don't suck? Because I see some people that are like, hey, buy my book, and I'm like, no.
You have to be okay with self-promotion, you know? You just have to be. And it's not like you're gonna like promote yourself like and be a jerk about it. You're not like, oh my God, I'm the best thing, read me, you know?
Right.
Your reviews, if you get them, you know, you can ask friends to review it too. You know, you can do readings.
All right, I really appreciate you. I hope to talk soon, okay?
Okay, good luck.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye, see ya.
Am I in for one? Holy sh**. So yeah, the whiteboard was a humongous failure. So it looks like we're sticking to the notebook. But here's what we need to brainstorm. What is it that moms need to know about social media? I'm talking teenager to mom relationship, maybe young adult to mom relationship. And honestly, this could be for dads as well. I think that that's kind of the joke of it. But I want to make something that can be really funny and really simple. I don't want it to be very long. I want it to be very much like boom, 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 boom. Here are the points I'm trying to make. I mean, I want it to be a meme, essentially. And I've never made a meme before, so here we go. Do we know anyone that makes memes? For now, let's just think about what is it that moms and or parents do on social media that makes kids kind of go, that's a thing. Okay, something funny that I can think about that happened to me recently. I'm trying to think of what my mom specifically does. And my mom is the queen of social media. I will say one thing, she kills it. She's got a lot going on for her. But over the Christmas break, she did create this.
Merry Christmas! Happy New Year! From the Chosen Block family! Merry Christmas!
And that is the cringe fest of the century. At this point, I don't know if I can trust her anymore. Carrying on, moms tend to overshare. And sometimes that oversharing is actually just sharing first, meaning they steal the thunder from their child. So, gonna take note of that. Another thing that happened in my family that was funny was my sister got a new boyfriend and we all immediately wanted to stalk him on Instagram, but she made something very clear. She said, no touching. You cannot like anything, you cannot comment on anything, you cannot follow that person. So maybe there's something to play in there. No creeping on friends/significant others. Ooh, this is a good one, and I think that a lot of people can relate to this. Sometimes my mom tags me in giveaway entries. Not into that. Wait. Okay, I do actually have one idea for how I want to maybe end the book. Because I think one thing that's gonna be really important with this book is to not take it seriously. It needs to be self-aware. Because if it wasn't self-aware and these were like legitimate tips for parents, that would just not be a good look. In my head, I'm definitely overthinking this, but what makes this book funny is that it's not serious. It's really just making a bunch of jokes about things that parents do on social media. So I think the last tip, no matter how many tips I end up putting in, but the last tip should be, ignore everything in this book. It is your job as a parent to embarrass your children, be proud of them, do your thing. Use all these rules in this book as suggestions for things to do. I I think that wrapping it up like that would make it the perfect coffee table book, the perfect just silly thing to have or to give as a gift. Okay, we need to plan out now what a potential page of this could look like. This part of the story is about to go fast, because this is where I actually write the book. All right, hear me out. I kind of just like zoned out and wrote the entire book. I just texted it to Jamie. We're gonna go downstairs and get some feedback. Supposedly there's a bunch of misspellings, but who really knows? I surprised you by dedicating the book to you? Oh!
I'm nervous people are gonna see that though and think that this is our way of saying that we're pregnant.
It's not! Okay, SM4M
Okay.
lettuce. Let us get it.
Cool. And it makes sense. I get the joke you were going for.
Uh-huh.
But another note that I have, I just wonder if there's a way to...
I like it. I like some of it being...
I think that's limiting yourself. That joke would be funny for like in that sense if it was like, because books like this that you just, yes, maybe frame it. I think it would be kind of cool to do it like playing with the like,
Oh, end of the die
end of the day.
is what is. Thanks, James. Thanks, Winston.
Ooh.
I get it, Winnie. I need to film. Okay, so there's this thing that I've really been wanting to talk about. Something that's kind of always in the back of my head as a content creator. And this is something I've borrowed from a different world that I used to exist in. I used to be really into improv comedy. This is something I would do multiple times a week in college. And then after college, I would come back to my dorm room and my two best friends were on my improv team, so we would do it together.
Hey.
Do you like books?
What?
Do you like books?
Yeah, I was just reading a book.
Okay, so in improv, there's this thing called a game. Often when you're doing an improv show, you'll do multiple things inside that show. Whether it's play multiple games, do a couple of long scenes and take a couple breaks. At the beginning of the show, the actors, they're doing their thing, they're getting into their groove, and then something will happen and it'll get a big laugh, hopefully. Normally, they'll get like 1 or 2 good laughs in the first little bit. A good actor will remember that little moment from the beginning of the show that everyone thought was hilarious, and they'll reference it, maybe once, maybe multiple times, throughout the rest of the show. And what that's called is a game, meaning it's a joke that the actors and the audience are in on together, even though it's not technically funny to the actual scene that's happening, because it's probably something completely different, but that little joke is a reference to something else. So a couple of months ago when I was helping people create video content, I was like, let's pick out these memes and these games and intentionally plan the things that we want the audience to always remember. A great example on social media that you might already be familiar with. Do you know We Rate Dogs? They had this meme that went crazy viral that happened, where this guy tweeted at them that their rating system sucked. I'm just gonna put the meme here. Basically, We Rate Dogs said, "They're good dogs, Brent." And for some reason, that went super viral. So now, oftentimes when they respond to people, they reference that joke. That is a good meme. Not necessarily a meme that every single person retweets and favorites and likes, but a meme that their audience enjoys. Another example, Casey Neistat breaks a lot of cameras. I would say every time he's aggressive toward a camera or mean toward a camera, and you don't need to preach to me on like how he treats cameras, whatever, but that is one of Casey's memes. So as a creator, using memes is a tool to bring people deeper into your content. So the whole point of telling this story is in relation to this book. What are some memes that I could put in there to not only use to reference in this video, but also to reference in my promotion on the back end, in the videos I create to promote the book that I put on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, because that's just going to develop a stronger and more sincere audience. So that when people see it, they're like, oh, I either read the book and I get that, or I've seen that somewhere else and I get that. Basically, a tool to bring people deeper into your content, because the deeper they come into your content, the more they fall in love with your story, the more of their things you're gonna enjoy, and the more fun it is for everyone. Okay, so what is the meme of this book then? Well, let me show you. I'm gonna give this video a good teaser of the book. And on Kenteresting too, I'm gonna post the whole thing so I can get feedback. But I do wanna talk about one of the memes that I put in this book. I put a couple reviews on the back cover because I thought that that would be funny, of like things people said about the book, but they're not actually true. They're just jokes that I made up. So for example, thank you, millennial children everywhere. I don't get it. Brad's mom. Now you're like, wait, who is Brad's mom? On page 15, you'll notice that there's a joke about seeing comments, and Brad's mom jumped in the comments there. Basically trying to just develop little tiny bits that make the story that much deeper. It's really subtle, it's not that serious, but it can be kind of fun to make things a little more interesting. And I don't know how to write a book, but this is what I could think of.
So many stairs.
Careful on these steps there. I think my mom said the books would be here. This was my childhood bookshelf, so. Let's see what we got. Oh, here they all are. You see that? Let's see. Did Winnie just fall down the stairs?
Yeah, I think so.
Is he alright?
You good, dude? I think he's okay.
Kent's Awesome Life. As you can see here by the star and this person with the hat on, that I won first place in figure skating stands. Chapter 4, what was titled Lose Tooth. It is clear to me here that I already forgot what this chapter was about, and it's just nonsense. I said to Alex, I think we've had about 100 play dates. Full stop. Next paragraph. It's clear to me that I was a literary genius and this is going to need a serious sequel. So wait, we need to leave at 1?
If I were to need to be there by 4:30. Basically, probably the earlier we leave, the better. But it's not confirmed yet, so give me a minute. Don't worry about me.
It's noon.
Until I know.
This is a good feeling of pressure, I hope. Okay, it's actually time to order the book. So, kdp.amazon.com is what I found. I get to choose the size, I get to choose all the things about the book. So the inside of the book is black and white, but I decided to put it on cream paper because I think it's gonna make it look just a little bit more professional. And cream paper isn't exactly more professional, but it just feels nicer to me. The book is gonna be 6 inches by 9 inches. That felt like the right size. No bleed, matte paper. Oh God, matte is my thing. I cannot do glossy. So then you upload the manuscript and the cover. The cover was really confusing. They don't explain that well. Basically, you have to create a 6 by 9 document here and then just add a second one with space in the middle. Don't try and do it on your own. Download their template. It makes it a lot easier. Sorry, we're just rifling through quick facts about the actual admin process of uploading the book and then uploading your manuscript, which is what it's called, which is the actual pages on the inside. If you can find a way, just download InDesign. You can set everything up. You can say, I want the book to be 6 by 9 and 25 pages. And then if you want to add more pages, you just add more. If you want to delete pages, you just delete them. Super easy. It lays out the book for you. It makes it super easy to see and visualize. And there's a preview mode. That was really helpful. So I knew by literally, I have Social Media for Moms number 5. My 5th iteration, that's the one that's being uploaded. I'm going to go check one more time. 5, upload cover, launch previewer. Already done that, so we're good. And then that is the price per book. And it tells you the price per book in England, Denmark, France, Spain, Italy, and Japan. That's pretty cool. I have chosen to list my book in all of those places, even though it probably won't make a lot of sense. Save and continue. Now it asks you for a list price. We should have a different conversation about this. I guess let me be like 100% honest. I have absolutely no idea how to price a book. Obviously, I don't know how to price a book. I don't know how much it's worth. Let me come at this from the kind of only appropriate way I can think of. Actually, screw this pen and paper. Let's just turn the camera around. All right, so let's price this book. Now, I'm gonna try and do this, as transparently as I can. I'm an artist writing a book. I'm sharing the process of not how to do this. This is not a tutorial. I'm sharing the process of how I did this and what it was like for me. And I want to be really honest about, everything. And that includes pricing. In my eyes, I think that that's an important thing to disclose. And maybe I'm actually not allowed to do this. I don't think Amazon's going to see this video. So, where do we begin? Well, for me, the book costs $2.17 per book. The reason I want to be upfront about that, and the reason I want to be upfront about everything else, is so that you know, theoretically, how much I would be making on top of that, because I don't want this to be a ripoff in any way whatsoever. The content in this book is all original, all the art is original, everything I did myself, and that work took me about 6 hours. So I have a typical hourly rate for social media consulting. But that's not realistic. Looking around Amazon, I saw that a very average price for one of these books was about $12. This includes books that are a lot more professional than mine and books that are a lot less professional than mine. But because breaking down this price into an hourly rate and then how much I would want to make per book, depending on how much I want to work per hour, that's hard. Also, that math seems really complicated and doesn't make a lot of sense to me, so I'm just not gonna do it. Instead, I picked out like 25 things that I found on the internet that cost around that price, and we're gonna pick which would you rather buy at their price. So we're gonna play a little game of which would you rather buy, a random product or Kent's book. Fabulous. So, right at the top there, Social Media for Moms, $2.17. Let's start with $5 products. All of the things I'm about to list off cost around $5, and if my book was priced $5, which would we rather purchase? And I'm gonna be as honest as possible here. All right, the first item is a pop socket. See, a pop socket is a very useful thing, but buying one is a really tricky thing. You can almost guaranteed get them free at literally any event or any corporate anything ever. Therefore, I would actually choose the book, a metal straw. Now, obviously, don't like killing turtles. That's not cool at all. I do think buying a metal straw is more worth it than buying this book. I can't believe I'm doing this. Now, if it were my birthday and I was to receive a book or a game, Jamie just made a really good point. Jamie said she would rather have less games that are really fun instead of more games that are medium fun, because at that point you're just filling a shelf. But a good book will come off the shelf more often than not. Therefore, book. A scarf. A scarf can keep you warm. A scarf can keep you fashionable. A scarf can keep you trendy. A book, not that trendy. Fashionable, not at all. Can it keep you warm? It can burn. I hadn't considered that when I made this joke originally. I do think though the scarf would bring warmth for longer than a book on fire. So therefore, scarf. But it seems like that is the most fair of the price ranges. So $15 coffee. I'm pretty sure when we buy Trader Joe's coffee, it costs around $8 for a lot more than what's in that little bag there. But that's probably really nice coffee. I personally have just started drinking coffee and I can't taste the difference at all. So for me, coffee is coffee. So maybe this small bag of coffee knows more than I do, but for $15, I'd rather have a book. A $20 Amazon gift card versus the book. Cool, moving on. The second thing, a Stranger Things Dustin Chia Pet. The third thing, beard ornaments. The fourth thing, a cat hoodie. See, I do have a hoodie for my dog, and it looks exactly like my hoodies that I wear. So if I had a cat. The next thing, a dog's pooping calendar. I really want that. Okay, so the $20 category seems to be quite a sweep toward anything worth $20. That's wonderful feedback because now I know I need to definitely be under $20. In terms of my personal happiness, it would make the most sense for me to charge $20 for this book, but that is completely unrealistic, and honestly, I think it would actually make my happiness go down a little bit, so I'm gonna make sure to, because I kind of feel like I would be ripping people off. Charging anywhere in the $5 range would probably sell a lot of books, but it would kind of present this book as like a cheapo book that I didn't really work hard on, and I really worked hard on this. I did try and be really creative, so I'd like to be above this. The book is worth more than most of the $5 things. Moving to the $10 category. We found that it was about equal in our random data collection of having $10 things or having the book. Obviously down here at 20, it's not worth it at all to have the book. At 15, it was kinda worth it to have the book. So I'm thinking honestly, we go somewhere right here in the middle. That would make me happy, that I feel like would make you happy because it seems like it would be pretty worth it. And if I just charged $12.17, that would be, the way I kind of think about it was the amount of work I put into this book equals the difference in those prices. I kind of want to fit right in that sweet spot where someone would say, yeah, I'll buy this for a mom, my mom, her mom, his mom, their mom, anyone's mom. Thank you for joining me in Pricing with Kent. It's snowing in Maryland right now, but the snow is legit the size of golf balls. What is that? Here, can you film me real quick? Ow, I'm really cold. Ow, my feet. Ow. Frick. Go back inside. This was a terrible idea. This was such a mistake. Look at that.
So Christmassy and snowy.
Christmas is like a week ago. Or 3.
Yeah, but we didn't have snow on actual Christmas.
That's true.
I say we do it again. Let's go buy Christmas presents.
Yeah?
Let's make Christmas cookies.
Eat a butt? Come on! That is the biggest snow I've ever seen.
I didn't think snow could be this big.
Snow.
Is it? Are those? Do you think those are?
Everybody's climbing, trying to get to the show. Life is money, and you're just a hoe. Don't take it personal. I'm talking about me too. What else should we do?
Hi everyone, welcome to A Log Cabin. I apologize for the background noise, but it's literally a crackling fire, so I unapologize for that. That's the best noise that exists. We have 2 more things that we need to talk about before we actually launch this book. One of those things is the marketing strategy, which I need your help with. And the second thing is just general book practice when you post on Amazon. Also, I would like to address the elephant in the room, which is my bright yellow sweatshirt. I know I only wear black sweatshirts. This is actually the only colored piece of clothing I own. Family vacation with the family. So all of us have these and we all wear them. You will see a reprise of them in a few weeks. So I've been watching a ton of videos around the interwebs, and there's a lot of different things that people tell me to do. He's so cute. He's laying on my keyboard. Okay. There's all kinds of people who will tell you all kinds of things, and I'm gonna say, let's be super careful of that. For example, my homie here, I think his name is Dave. Dave is telling me to 1, buy his course, 2, buy his tool, and 3, buy his ebook. So the problem arose last night when we were talking about everything, just as a family in a circle here, and I realized I needed to address the fact that I wrote a book that week and that they should check it out. And when I did, they searched social media for moms on Amazon, and it doesn't show up. It's not on the first page. Page 2, no. Page 3, page 9, page 10, page 11. Right next to a I'm a blogger, I change lives mug. So in that moment, I realized I need to make it so that it's not that. So from my man Dave, other than buying his course, buying his tool, buying his everything, I learned that I need to just put more keywords in my description and in my tags, and then get people linking to it, and then get people buying it, and then reviewing it. So let's start with the marketing strategy. I have a really wonderful community here. And yes, I have plans to do all kinds of other marketing where I'm gonna make an Instagram page for it and I'm gonna do a Twitter page, but I think that that's gonna be separate videos that are more focused on the analytical side of things. For this video, I need some volunteers. I went ahead and volunteered everyone who wanted to on my Patreon, which is Kentersting 2, please check it out, to help me with this, but I need 10 people. Now I'm literally the first 10 people to see this and tweet at me. I will send you a book for free, but in exchange for a video review / unboxing in the most terrible way you can imagine. I want the marketing for this to just be so weird. I want people to see these videos and just be like, what?
Hey guys, it's Book Review Guy back with another book, and today I'm doing a short review on this new book I stumbled upon. It's called Social Media for Moms, and I'd just like to say I'm not a mom. Anyways, this is a really interesting one. It's definitely what it sounds like, and I like the pictures. So, yeah, that's the book for this week. I give it a 3 out of 7. Not bad.
So I did consider buying Dave's tool. It's called KDP Rocket, and oh no, it's not called KDP Rocket. It's called Publisher Rocket. this is not good. And then if you scroll through and you read all the reviews, it's from other influencers who are just like him. So I'm assuming they either have a stake in the game or this is their thing. Okay, so I can have 7 keywords to describe my book. So I chose social media, mom, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, mom's help, parenting advice. I need to change those. I just want it to be really straightforward. Like, I'm not trying to write the next Hunger Games here, but I am trying to have fun with it, and I do want people to purchase my book. Like, end of the day, isn't that why I'm here? And sharing that journey is important to me, so there we go. Okay, if you want to be one of these 10 people that I'm going to send a book to, feel free to either jump on my Patreon and get involved there. I would first off love your support. Everyone on the Patreon just gets a discount to the book, and I think with the discount that I give you on Patreon and joining Patreon, it is cheaper to just do that. So in terms of the 10 people testing the book, feel free to just tweet at me. That's my only other social media. Tweet at me that you'd love to make a video. Maybe include a selfie with a thumb up so that I know you're like, you saw this and you want to be involved in that. I'll pick you, I'll DM you, make sure it's from my main account at Kentersting, and yeah, we'll make it happen.
Lights.
You can't find a switch for your bedroom? No. That's the most horrible noise I've ever heard in my life. Time to say goodbye to the cabin.
Sad face.
No, you're supposed to say goodbye.
Goodbye, cabin. Oh, wait. Goodbye, cabin.
Look what just showed up. Before I get into this package, it's Monday. The book comes out tomorrow. Technically, you could have just bought it at any point. It was just listed. I didn't do a publish date. This was a huge deal for me. I've been going through a lot, just so much in my personal life, and hopefully sometime soon we can get into it. Proving to myself that I could just make something, that I could create something, and that it could become a reality is crazy. To me, this book means so much more than my first book. It's like I dug myself out of this hole that I was in, and I made something of myself. This. So I'm really nervous. I'm really nervous to open this because the moment I break this seal is the moment I step into the new Kent who creates and makes and works hard and will not stop until I get what I want, which is to do this. I want to continue making these. So here we go. Social media for moms. Oh man, I thought that would have gone so much better. The whole point of what I put at the beginning of this movie, where I talk about where does your creativity come from and where does that desire to make come from. The point of that was when you're young, you're told you can be anything. I guess I never really thought as I went more and more into my adult life that was actually reality. And I still don't even know. But I guess right now, I realize that I can be an author and I can be a filmmaker at the same time. And I can be exactly what I want to be. And I don't know what that is yet. I don't know what I want to be yet, but at least I've made it here. This is a huge deal. Thank you for supporting me.